Hello and good morning everyone. My name is Desrina Fakhira with the student ID of 2306172754, and I am here going to do a presentation about my midterm paper, which is Reducing Global Food Waste, Developed versus Developing Countries. For a little bit of backgrounds, according to Liz Godwin, 1/3 of all food produced globally by weight is lost or wasted or even converted into calories. It equals to 24% of the world's food supply going uneaten. So you may probably think, how come and why people wasted so much amount of food, right? But there are actually two major reasons of why people have food waste behavior. The first one is due to their food management. Second one is because of their consumer behavior. But among these two, there are actually one more specific reason of why country is failing to reduce their food waste or even gaining more percentage on their food waste, which is in the production supply chain. Country mostly fail because of they do not have the proper tools, they do not have the proper technology, they do not have the proper knowledge into how they can produce such productions without actually gaining more food waste. So the first one, we have developed countries, in concentration of Japan. According to Consumer Affairs Agency in 2022, Japan has over 6.43 million tons of food waste, which is 1.6 times the amount of food aid provided by World Food Program. So as we may know, Japan is actually now growing faster in the food and beverage economic system. And this F&B sector is actually one of the biggest contributors to food waste in Japan. And there are actually some efforts that Japan do, and one of them is in the left side. As you can see, there is um, animal feeding, where Japan mainly focusing on converting food waste into animal feed. And in fact, this method is actually remain successful. It reduced food waste over 74% of the total business food waste. And then on the right side, we have a food waste converted into fertilizers and utilization as biogas through fermentation. So as we can conclude here, Japan is actually more focusing into recycling rather than, having to do with the machine without having to do with the technology. And then the second one, we have food waste in developing countries, which in concentrating in India. Every year, over 40% of food produced in India is wasted due to disorganized food production system and inefficient supply chain. So there are actually still some efforts that India do. For example, in the left side, they are mainly focusing on building a cold storage food chain, which it actually can longer the life of goods or ingredients from a few days into a few weeks. However, unfortunately, this effort is not resulting as significant as Japan do, and it is majorly because a lot of reasons, but mainly it is because of the uneducated farmers. So even though they have a cold storage food chain, they take it from the producers, right, which is the farmers, and the farmers itself mainly remaining uneducated in India. It is because farmers in India are very much income oriented, and they do not actually care about what kind of for example, what kind of ingredients that they inject into their productions, or like what kind of situation that they should be aware of because of their own production and stuff like that. And in conclusion, both in developed and developing countries, they both do some efforts. They both find ways in reducing food waste. But however, the result will never remain the same, is because of how different their background is. So in developed countries, their background is mainly supportive enough for reducing food waste because they have, advanced technology, they have advanced infrastructure, they have a proper government laws that this main three things is going to optimal the effort on reducing the food waste compared into developing countries, yeah, compared to developing countries, they do not have those type of things. They do not have like proper management. They have poor infrastructure that will eventually affect the agricultural production and distribution, and also they have a poor knowledge of this issue. So um, the difference is they both do the same effort. Even though they do the same effort, they will still remain have the different result because of their own backgrounds. And I think that's it from me. Thank you so much.